Good morning Year 4, and this is your maths video for if you've got this booklet on Wednesday the 10th of February. I'm going to start by saying a very big well done to Olivia for a fantastic effort at home. Please keep it up. Now we've been looking at units of measure over the last few days, figuring out what we measure weight in, capacity in and length in, and I want to see what you can remember. So we're going to match what we are measuring to the unit of measure, and then also how we often see it written in maths. So let's start with weight. What unit of measure do we use when we are measuring the weight of something? So we use grams, well done. And we quite often see grams written using a G, or we sometimes see these two letters as well, and these two stand for kilograms, and kilograms are bigger than grams. The next one then is capacity, and capacity is the amount of liquid. So what do we use to measure liquid? We use millilitres. And we see millilitres written like this in maths. And again, I've also included litres, which is another unit of measure for capacity, but it's bigger than millilitres. And then finally, Year 4, we've got length that we measure using centimetres. And we write it using a C and an M. And if we see just an M, that stands for metres, and metres are bigger than centimetres. Well done if you managed to match any of those correctly at home. Now before we go on to today's learning, we're going to have a little practice at what we did yesterday. And yesterday you were ordering different amounts. And today, that's what we're going to have a little go at, ordering them from smallest all the way to the biggest. But you'll notice that I've got a mixture of units. I've got centimetres and metres. But we know that centimetres are smaller than metres, so we're going to start by looking at our centimetres. Now, which of those two amounts is the smallest? 50 centimetres or 67 centimetres? Brilliant, so we've got 50. That one's the smallest. Give that one a little tick so I remember we've done that one. And then we've got 67 centimetres. So now let's focus on the metres then, Year 4. 5 metres or 8 metres, which would come next? Would be 5, meaning that 8 metres is our biggest amount. Okay, how are we feeling about that? Are we thumbs up? Yes, I've got it. Thumbs in the middle, I'm getting there, or thumbs down, I really need some help. Don't worry if you're here or here, because we're going to do 2 more together. So this time, we are measuring capacity, okay, so the amount of liquid, and we know that millilitres are smaller than litres, so let's start by finding our millilitres. So we've got 45 millilitres or 12 millilitres. Which of those is the smallest? 12, well done if you got that right at home. And then 45. Then out of our litres, we've got 5 litres or 12 litres. Okay, so we'll start with the 5. And that means that 12 is our biggest amount. The final one then, year 4, is using grams and kilograms. Remember, grams are smaller than kilograms. So let's start by looking at grams. We've got 70 grams or 77 grams, which is smaller. 70, well done. Followed by 77. And then 7 kilograms or 17 would be 7. And 17 is our heaviest amount. So now what I'd like you to do is to get your booklet. You're going to turn to page 23, and that's what question 1 is asking you to do. And to help you, I've highlighted, our smallest unit of measure, which is grams. So start by looking at these two, put them in order, and then carry on using the kilograms. And we're going from lightest to heaviest. That means smallest to biggest. Okay, so on to today's learning then, year 4. Our learning question says, can I find the difference between two measurements? Now, difference is another word for take away, or minus, or subtraction, and we've already looked at lots of words for what take away means. So all we're doing today is taking away two amounts. Let's have a little practice together. So here I've got two lines. How much longer is line A, my blue line, than line B? And I've told you that line A is 29 centimetres. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight 29 on my 100 square. And don't worry if you've not got one at home, I'll send out a link so that you can get one on your tablet or phone. And then I've now got to take away 11 because I've had my biggest amount. Now I've got to take away 11 to find the difference between these two. So I'm going to count back 11 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So the difference, year 4, is 18, and it's not just 18, it's got to be 18 centimetres because that's our unit of measure. Okay, so if we have a look at your activity then, year 4, question number 2 is asking you to find out how much longer is the brush than the comb. So just like what I did, you've got two measurements. You're going to highlight the biggest measurement on your 100 square and then take away the smallest amount. Okay? The next one then is asking you to find the difference between these weights. So let's find my highlighter again. I've got 75 grams and I need to take away 21. Now remember, if we're taking away numbers of 10, so numbers in our 10 times tables, we can just go straight up a box. So 10 less than 75 is 65, 20 less is 55, and then one more is 54. Okay, so the difference is 54, and what's my unit of measure? Grams. Well done. So same again then, year 4, question 3 is asking you to find out how much heavier the donut is than the key. So you've got two amounts. you're going to highlight your biggest amount on your 100 square and then take away the other number. And that will give you the difference. And then your final question for today in your booklet is finding the difference between two capacities. So we've got 1 litre or 10 litres. So 10's my biggest that time, so let's highlight 10. And I've got to take away my other amount, which is 1. Count backwards. 1 is 9. So the difference is 9 litres. And question number 4, guys, is asking you to do exactly that. So how much more liquid is in the watering can than in the bucket? So you've got 2 amounts, you've got 9 litres and 4 litres. Highlight your biggest amount on your 100 square and take the littlest amount away. Once you've done those 4 questions, year 4, I've got an extra challenge for you. And it's called Would You Rather. So you've got to decide now which you would prefer. 1 metre or 10 centimetre long sweet snake. Which would you prefer? A 1 metre sweet snake or a 10 centimetre sweet snake? Or would you prefer 51 grams or 15 grams of chocolate buttons? Okay, so think about the amounts. Would you prefer 1 metre or 10 centimetres? Or would you prefer 51 grams or 15 grams? Don't forget to take a picture of this challenge when you're taking a picture of your learning to send to the Year 4 email address. And to finish with today, let's roll our dice. What will we land on? Okay, so it says, which holds more liquid, a litre or a milliliter? I'm looking forward to seeing the pictures of your work that you send to the Year 4 email address.